Hi, I'm Andy, a collection specialist at Credit Sage, and my goal is to help people learn how they can remove credit management LP from their credit report, and in many cases, without paying their debt at all. So if that's you or someone you know, I'm confident that you're going to walk away from this video knowing what the next best step is for you to take. I do want to say that that doesn't mean that you shouldn't take action if you know or believe credit management LP or any of the other accounts in your credit report are the result of identity theft. That's very serious. Or if they have a wrong balance after you've already paid. Or really any other major issues that are seriously affecting your life, you may be owed a settlement. Now, we work with a network of local attorneys that will work on your behalf at zero cost, win or lose. In addition to getting the accounts deleted permanently. Or, if no issues like that exist and you just want the account removed from your credit report, we can help with that too. Call us today. Our number will be in the description below for you. So now today I want to go through some of the most important questions that we get about this company. And firstly, this is really important. Can you be arrested or get jail time for a debt with credit management LP? I put this one at the top of the list because we have a lot of callers that are terrified this could happen. It really makes sense. Few people are taught how credit and debt work in school. I didn't know the answer to this question until I got into the business. Now, fortunately, unless the debt is related to specifically unpaid taxes or unpaid child support, you cannot be arrested or get jail time. So no need to worry about that. The other thing to keep in mind too is that the amount of the debt doesn't matter either. You could refuse to pay $1,000 or $1 million and you will not be arrested or get jail time. So now who is Credit Management LP and why are you seeing them on your credit report? So they are referred to as a debt collector or credit collection agency. And what they do is they buy debts, unpaid accounts, like credit cards, for example, often for very cheap. And then they try to collect the full amount, okay? For example, imagine, for a moment that for whatever reason, you have an unpaid credit card with Capital One. It's for $1,000. Credit Management LP could, in theory, come along and buy that debt for just $100. But now they don't try to collect that amount. They try to collect the full $1,000 from you, which would give them a 10x return on their investment. So, these companies can make a lot of money. Damaging your credit score by reporting the debt to your credit report is a primary strategy they have to get you to pay. However, what's interesting about that is, a lot of people don't know this, but paying a debt on your credit report does not remove the account that's attached to it. That account will sit there for 7 years, damaging your score, whether it's paid or not. So a lot of time, paying isn't actually in your best interest and can just be a waste of money. Now, in rare cases, paying the debt can even hurt your score further. In addition to credit reporting, they may send scary letters. They may call a lot, probably will, even calling your family members and colleagues. And again, I want to mention here too that if a collector has ever threatened you or harassed you during non-business hours, you may be owed a lawsuit. So again, that's another case you'd want to give us a call so we can connect you with the local specialist that will take action quickly. Should you negotiate a settlement with Credit Management LP? This is interesting. Settling the debt with Credit Management LP depends on your goal. Typically, if you're wanting to improve your credit score, paying isn't the best option. The reason is because, like I mentioned before, even if you pay the collection, it will remain on your credit report for 7 years, damaging your score that whole time. Instead, I always recommend working with an expert like us who can review these accounts for you. And, if certain issues exist, then the account may be removed entirely. And this is a win-win. You won't have to waste money paying a debt that won't help your score, and the negative account gets removed from your credit report. So it's perfect. Which leads to the question, how do you remove Credit Management LP from your credit report? So the Fair Credit Reporting Act gives every person the power to challenge information on their report. Now, I will say that the knowledge required to do this is more involved than it might seem. That's not to say that you shouldn't learn how to do it. But, be prepared to spend weeks, maybe months, learning how to do it properly. However, you can hire a professional to handle it for you and ensure it's done properly the first time and save the extra time of having to learn it. And that's where we come in. We're happy to take care of that for you. We've dealt with Credit Management LP accounts many times. And I will say that they regularly have issues. And we've helped numerous clients deal with them. And we would love to take care of it for you too, if you prefer. So how can you get Credit Management LP to stop calling you? I get this question all the time. As I mentioned before, Credit Management LP will be calling you as an attempt to collect the debt they've purchased, which means the only reason that they're going to stop calling you is if you, one, settle the debt with them, which we talked about, or you work with a company like ours to potentially have them removed from your report altogether. Another question here is, will Credit Management LP try suing or garnishing my wages? This is a big one. Credit Management LP suing is unlikely. It can and does happen, but really in our experience, it's rare. There are a lot of laws around how long they can sue for, what they can do if they win, and it's just a long process. However, if we're able to find certain issues with the account, they won't be able to collect at all, which is another benefit of using an expert. And then we have, what are my rights when dealing with Credit Management LP? So this is good. You have the right to dispute any of your debt that Credit Management LP has purchased. Credit Management LP is governed by the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, or the FDCPA. And also, like we mentioned before, the Fair Credit Reporting Act, or FCRA. Now, these acts, again, can seem very complicated, but the important thing is that they provide a great deal of power to the consumer if you know how to use it properly. Now, if you don't have time to research these, I don't blame you. It's not a problem. Call us, and we would sit down and discuss your options with you. Again, you'll find our number in the description area below, and thanks so much for watching.